Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at Jasmy and we're just going to be providing a quick update on the moves that Jasmy has made in the past, and we're going to be comparing them to what we've kind of seen as of recently. So getting straight into it, we can see that for about 33 weeks now, since October, Jasmy has been trending up, and the move that it's made is definitely substantial, mirroring that of Solana's and some of the other really well performing altcoins in the space. However, if we take a look at what's happened with Jasmy during previous bullish times, you could argue, or previous bullish moves that Jasmy has seen, we can see it doesn't actually compare at all with what we've seen. We can see when Jasmy launched, which was at the start of the 2021 bull run, it actually timed perfectly, launched at the start of the bull run. Jasmy made crazy moves, and over the space of like 8 weeks, it actually moved up 8,000%, 8,600%, which is phenomenal. And if you want to just include this kind of first move and say, well, this was all IPO and quick buying up, nobody really got in at those prices, that's still a 300% move in 1 week. Those were the types of gains you were getting. Absolutely crazy. And we can see Jasmy topped out at about $5. It never broke above $5, got extremely close to it though, extremely close. And we can see, like a lot of altcoins during this time, had a big bleed off. Everyone was kind of calling for this to be the end of the bull run. Bear market was in, and we got a surprise kind of second leg up in Q3, Q4 of 2021. And Jasmy again, during a shorter period of time, made a similar, well, half the move that we saw it made originally, but it still made very strong moves in short periods of time. And we had a second bull run for about 13 weeks. But ever since then, we've basically traded down up until October 2023, where we started putting in higher highs and higher lows. Going back to the move that we've recently seen, while that is impressive, it pales in comparison to what we got before, and the time frame that it's taken place over has been much longer. So we can move over a longer period of time compared to what we're used to seeing. Remember that the all-time high for Jasmy was about $5. The high that we put in back at the start of this month was at 4 cents. So if you're hoping Jasmy returns to its all-time highs, you're hoping for a 100x. I don't think that's coming too soon. I don't think we're going to keep rallying up from here, to be honest. And while it sounds stupid to say that this move hasn't been strong, I just don't think it has the legs anymore to keep going. Now, I've been wrong about coins like this. Like, I kind of faded Casper about 2 months ago when we put in a top, and I said, realistically, we're probably not going to move above this. And that was at 14 cents. Casper then went to 17 cents. Funnily enough, we are back down to 14 cents with Casper. So I could be totally wrong with Jasmy as well. But I just kind of have a gut feeling that this could very well be our top. And that's what, if I was going to put money on it, which I won't, but if I was going to gamble on that, I would say that Jasmy is probably going to trend down for a little while. And if we zoom in on what we've seen just this week alone, we've seen a drop of approximately, well, not approximately, exactly 28% of a drop. You know, we started this week at 4 cents and we're now below 3 cents. We're at 2 cents. And I think we're probably going to keep trading down. I think in terms of short term, what will happen, I think we'll move back into this range where we operate from 1.5 cents to a high of 2.5 cents. And depending on what happens with the rest of the space, we'll either break below, down from there, or we'll keep trading sideways. I think Bitcoin's going to hold, basically. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go below 50k, possibly ever again, but not this cycle. And I think this is also what we've spoken about before, being a minor bull run. So in Bitcoin especially, but in altcoins as well, that have been around for a long time, every cycle, between every halving, we often see a major and a minor bull run. This to me looks very much like a minor bull run, where we have half a year of great price action, but ultimately it doesn't match up to what we've seen before, and we kind of fizzle down to similar lows that we were at before this run. This is what I hope for, because if this is the kind of bull run, Jasmy has really disappointed, and while it's still been great, it's been a shadow of its former self. So for me, best case scenario is that Jasmy drops back down to kind of a low of 1 cent, or even maybe a low of 1/7 of a cent, and then we can move back up into our bull run, which could take place sometime around 2025, which again is about 6 months from now. So 6 months of a bear market to put us into a QE bull run, which hopefully the Fed will have cut rates or started cutting rates by the end of this year. And then after 6 or 7 months, they will finish cutting rates. They'll have rates low, and we can have our money printer bull run like we saw in 2021. I just don't think the macro space is capable of having a crazy bull run like we saw here in today's current climate. So just something to be aware of. Again, note that we did top out at this same level that we topped out in back in 2022 May, that we topped out in of March back in 2022. This was after a really strong move that we also saw here. And if we actually like measure up from high to low, we can see that was about 300% of a move. From kind of high to low here, it was also close to a 300% of a move. So, you know, you could argue we've seen this before where we get strong move rejection at the same point and move back down. You can argue that this time's different because we're in a long-term uptrend or a medium-term uptrend. Either way, I'm just putting the chart in front of you and hopefully making you think. Having a quick look and a really quick look at the Bitcoin pair. Again, Jasmy is just one of those coins that we don't have a lot of data on. And so all we can really look at here is the bear run that Jasmy experienced. You know, basically from 2022 up until today, Jasmy has been bleeding against Bitcoin. Again, with the exception of the trend reversing back at the start of this year in March, February time. Now, this is a good sign for a bull run. This is what you want to see. But note that when other alts started rallying on their US dollar pair, a lot of altcoins didn't really actually start to outperform Bitcoin. This is something that for an alt season you would hope for. A couple of great weeks here and really outperformed Bitcoin to a degree in the space of, you know, what's it been, 14, 15 weeks. We've done basically a 300% move, give or take. And just know that on average, bull runs usually last about 16 to kind of 22 weeks, give or take. That's what we've seen historically with kind of Bitcoin and other alts when they're rallying with what we call altcoin season. So if we're sticking to that model, Jasmy is pushing the ends of that time frame after only doing from the low to the high a 450% move against Bitcoin, which, don't get me wrong, is really good. If you're outperforming an asset to 450%, those are good gains that you're making. But for me, it's not the frenzy altcoin bull run that we hope for. And to be honest with you, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, that's still really high. We'll actually take a really quick look at that. You can see that it's still trending up. And even though we have kind of seen a bit of a slowdown, a bit of a plateau over the last few, well, you know, ever since we started this rally, we can see we've slowly started decreasing with the amount we're rallying up. Bitcoin is still gaining over the general altcoin crypto space. So that's just something to be aware of. And again, I think we'll probably top out at about 60%. That's just what I think though. We could very well top out below that. I have no clue. But it looks like as well, Bitcoin is kind of primed for another strong move up here. We're pushing these resistances that we set a couple of weeks back. I'd say Bitcoin's probably going to make a leg up on the dominance within the next month. But anyway, that's about the end of the video with Jasmy. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike too. That's totally fine. Comment down below if you're holding Jasmy this cycle, and consider clicking the video here that is specifically tailored to what YouTube thinks you want to see. So give in to the Google AI overlords and, you know, click this video right here, or click my face here to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Take care and peace.